Do you look for the easy way to do things, or do you want to be tough and strong and hard? I'm a rural woman, so I prefer B option. Yes, we have a car, and yes, we have a tractor, and yes, we have implements of convenience. But what if you didn't have them? Could you still do all the things that you need to do? It seems that we live in a world now where we're looking for ways to make things much, much easier. I want to be the person that doesn't look for easy because I want to be hard. I hate the word soft. I want to be tough and strong and resilient and mentally aware of everything that's going on around me. And obviously, as an old lady, I want to have a body that doesn't get old. I'm going to get chronologically old, so are you. We all are by the minute. But how do we stay fit and strong? And obviously, we have to overload our muscles to get strong. We have to overload our heart and lungs to stay fit. And most people think that you need machinery to do that. You need to go to the gym. Well, of course you don't. I'm about to go out in my garden, and that's my ultimate workout now. I lift really heavy things in the garden. I lift rocks, I lift logs, I lift wheelbarrows full of rocks and sand. I move large amounts of dirt around. Now, obviously you don't have to live your life like me. But what I'm really tired of hearing is, Rowie, you're so lucky because you're so fit and strong. Well, that's just ridiculous, isn't it? Doesn't matter how fit and strong you are, it didn't happen by luck. It happens by overloading your muscles and bones and overloading your heart and lungs. So if you get puffed, you'll be fit. And if you overload your muscles and bones, if you lift something heavy, you'll get strong. Doesn't fall out of the sky in a pretty pink box. Now, as an old lady, I can't control wrinkles, and I'm a wrinkly old lady. But I really love that I can lift heavy things, but that comes from lifting heavy things. It doesn't come from, let's do some light weights for toning. So do you need to go to the gym? Of course not. Can you go to the gym to get strong? Yes. But here's one of the other things I always find really fascinating, because my study of the human body, which has been ongoing since I was 10 years of age, says that with everything we do it with all of our body. If I lift something up off the ground, I have to use my legs and my bum, yes. But I have to use my arms to lift. I have to use my abdominals so I don't fall over. I have to use my lower back muscles so I don't fall over. I can't use my arms without using my shoulders. Every bone's connected to every bone, and every muscle's connected to every muscle by the central nervous system and the endocrine system. So why do we think we need to break the body up into little pieces? Because when you go to the gym to get strong, not only does it take a really long time, according to the so-called experts. Now, I could call myself an expert. I'm not. I've been doing this all of my life, and all I know is I know very little, and I keep learning every day. But here's what I do know, that if you work your whole body as one unit, not break it up into arms, legs, back, chest, biceps, triceps, shoulders, calves, everything works together, and it's fired by the central nervous system. It's fired by the endocrine system. Everything at the same time. Now, if I want to get the highest firing for my endocrine system and my central nervous system, I have to use as many muscles as possible at the same time, and I have to go as hard as I possibly can at the same time in a short period of time. Because you can go hard and short, or long and easy, but you can't go long and hard. It just doesn't work. So machinery, gyms, make it convenient, make it easy. How about this? If you want to be tough and strong and hard, you've actually got to get strong. So you've got to lift heavy things. Here's the simple process. If you can lift it for more than 10 seconds, it's too light because you're out of the fight and flight energy system. If you can go hard for more than 10 seconds, you're now coming out of the phosphate system, which means that you're not putting in 100% effort, because you can only go at 100% for about 10 seconds. So if you do heavy lifting and sprinting for 10 seconds at a time, and you do that, doesn't matter how you do it, your muscles are blind and they can't count, it's just staying inside that fight and flight system. So do I need a machine to do that? Yes, I could do it with a machine. I could use a treadmill, or I could use a cross trainer, or a rowing machine, or a bike. But here's another great question. If I'm sitting down, is the human body designed to sit down or be in the upright position? Technically, if you look at how the body is designed and how it works most effectively, we work best in the upright position and we sleep in the lying down position. The body doesn't work well kneeling down, sitting down, lying on the ground. It doesn't work that way. You would never lift anything heavy in that position. So here's a great thing to consider. Rather than make exercise complicated, rather than say I need to go to the gym, rather than I need a machinery or a piece of equipment, and could all of that be an excuse? Find a way to get puffed that you like, and in the upright position is obviously very effective. Find something that's heavy to lift, that you can lift for about 10 seconds. If you can do it more than 10 seconds, it's too light, so you need something heavier. And if you lift something up off the ground, then you really don't need any more exercises because you're using all the muscles in your body. What if it was that simple? Now, I'm an old lady, I'm healthy, fit and strong, I've been the same size all of my life. I'm not going to try and tell you to exercise like me. I'm not going to say you do my exercise program. That would be silly because you've got a different... You like to do different things to me, live a different life to me. But we do have the same anatomy and physiology. As humans, we have an endocrine system, we have a central nervous system, we've got heart and lungs, muscles and bones, immune system, digestive system. If you work them all together effectively, you can be a healthy, fit, strong human being for a very long time. Now, I'm about to go out in the garden. I've got 20 acres of stuff to do. I've got things to move. I can do it for hours and hours because I am healthy, fit and strong. So what if, whatever exercise program you're doing, what if it could be as short as 10-second bursts of high intense activity to get puffed? You can't do that if you're weak. So what if you just did one exercise to get really strong, and what if that was just to lift something up off the ground and put it back down again, and it was heavy enough that you could only do it for 10 seconds? And what if you gave your muscles time to recover, which most exercise programs don't? What if it was that simple, that short and that easy? What if? And I'm a living, breathing example of it, but you don't have to live like me, and you don't even have to believe me. But you have to live in your human body for the rest of your life. So why not study how it works? Rather than believe a social media influencer or a bodybuilder or a doctor or all the people that are now talking about eating and exercise. And isn't it interesting that everybody's got an opinion about how to eat and how to exercise? But if I were to ask those people, how does the endocrine system work? How does the central nervous system work together with your muscles and bones, skeletal and muscular system, cardiovascular, respiratory system, digestive system, immune system, to keep you healthy, fit and strong? Most people that I ask that question, I don't ask anymore because it's embarrassing. I have people that talk to me about being healthy, fit and strong, and they don't even know their anatomy and physiology. That's like going to a car mechanic and doesn't know where the engine is or how the clutch works or where to put the oil in the water. It just doesn't make any sense to trust people with your human body if they don't know how the human body works. But here's a much better question. Your body, you have to live in it. Why not find out how it works? What's it made of? How does it work? And if I get puffed to get fit, and if I lift heavy to get strong, is it possible that being fit and strong will change everything inside my body? My mental health, my physical health, my bone health, my immune system, my self-esteem, my hair, skin and nails, everything will be better. And you could be an old lady like me and have a stack of energy, because people say that to me pretty much every day. Rowie, you're so old, but you've got so much energy and you're so positive and you do so many things in a day. How do you do it? Pretty simple. Get fit, get puffed to get fit, lift heavy to get strong, make sure that it's short so you don't get bored, and make sure that it's safe so you don't get injured. And then you could live your life to the max. Super duper doo, how are you? Living my life to the max with a stack of gardening to do today. Check it out, lots and lots to do. Woo!